Well, thank you for joining me this afternoon, Catherine. And we have our conference just around the corner coming this Tuesday, the SCORE E3 Small Business Conference. So, why did you want to be a part of this SCORE E3 Small Business Conference?
I thought it was a great way to interact with other people. Like I wanted to go whether I was a panelist or a speaker or not, but I'm also wanting to challenge myself. And so when the opportunity came to apply, I was like, okay, I tell other people to be confident. It's time to take my own advice. And even if I don't get picked, at least I can say I applied. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a lot of the time it's those things that the advice that we tend to give to people all the time it's sometimes the thing that we struggle with the most.
oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Like I help people with procrastination and I'm queen of it. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a great lead into my next question is what got you here? What was a little bit of your journey to get here and to be a panelist?
well, I started my business as an aromatherapist. So I have my own product line and
Oh,
I am all about treating the whole entire body, and that includes physical and emotional. And I started using essential oils for my own mental health. And then my sister, who is a therapist, told me about EFT. This was back before the pandemic. And I started using it for myself. And then one day I was like, I need to share this and I need to combine the essential oils and the EFT, which is, the tapping to reset the brain. Um, and I started using them and having great success for myself. And so then I started offering it to my clients and they started getting success. And I meet a lot of people who struggle with confidence and getting out of their own way, stopping their own self sabotage. And I help them. And I was like, there's just so many people. Like, if I get on this and have a talk about it, not just to promote myself, right? Because that's not the point of it. The point of it is to let other people know that there are things that you can do to better your mental health, to get you out of your own way, to stop you from all the self sabotage that keeps you from living the life that you want to live.
yeah, that internal dialogue and the things that we tell ourselves can be so loud sometimes that
Yeah.
it just drowns out all of the positive that you may be receiving. Now, when you
Yeah.
talk about EFT, I kind of know a little bit about this, but that's similar in theory to like EMDR and some of those. Is that a little?
Yeah, EMDR is very helpful, especially for people who have a lot of trauma going on.
Mhm.
And that is usually best done with someone who is skilled in facilitating that. EFT, you can YouTube it. You can pull up
Okay.
a YouTube video and say, I'm struggling with confidence, or I need more money and I'm blocking myself from money. So you can pull up a YouTube video and just go through the steps yourself. Um,
Okay.
a trained facilitator helps because we see what you are refusing to see. But yes, it is very much a self-help tool that you can easily just grab and use for yourself.
That's great. I love actionable things that we can take home with us today and learn and implement.
Oh yeah.
And when you're talking about a facilitator to help you with that, along the lines of something we were just touching on, is that sometimes what we think is the thing and that we have been so focused on, somebody else can come in and go, oh, wait, there's this whole big picture over here. You keep thinking that it's this, but it might actually be this box that you've been carrying around with you that you've been ignoring.
Yep.
Let's look at this box first.
Yeah. But using a YouTube video is what got me started. And so I recommend everybody just go look and see. I mean, I have my own channel, but we have only got a little few videos on there. But there's a lot of people out there offering it.
Yeah, yeah, that's really great. So what are you most excited about to share at the E3 conference along these lines?
I will admit this is the first time I've done a panel, so I'm
Uh-huh.
very nervous. I just I'm just excited to see what happens. You
Yeah.
what comes up and what my brain can grab and say, oh yes, and tell you, you know.
Yeah. Well, and that's how the life of an entrepreneur works a lot. We we have to be aware of opportunity all around us and act quickly and be willing to take action. Yeah. So, do you have any books that are meaningful to you that have influenced you along the way?
Yes. A lot of aromatherapy books by Jade Shute, who was actually my aromatherapy teacher. And I don't, this one, Aromatics and Mental Health,
Okay.
right? Like that is a great one. And then Dawson Church has written a book on EFT that is also very, very helpful. And then I just love mindset books like
Mm.
Bene Brown, um, Martha Beck. Oh, caught me off guard here because my I know I'll think of like 1,000 when we're done. I believe that what you ingest into your mind is what comes out of your mouth, right? So when we put good things into the mind, when we pay attention to what we're planting seeds of nourishment and wonderfulness and calmness and happiness, when we put all that into our mind, that's what comes out into through our mouth, what we speak, and
Yeah.
what we bring about into our lives. So any book that's going to make me feel better and think of things in a more positive way and give me hope, those are the kind of books I'm drawn to.
Yeah, I love that. And same here because even if we are spending time with people who are encouraging to us, that inner dialogue is there all the time, and you have to train it to say the things that do help you with that mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. When you talk about aromatherapy, I love that. So I have a background in massage therapy as well, and um, one of the things that I love about aromatherapy is that it connects to our longest memory sensory, that sense of smell will stay with us.
Oh
And we
yeah.
all know when we've walked into a space and you smell and you're like, I'm 4, I don't know what just happened, but I am 4 years old and that's where I
Oh
am
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And so that's a very practical way to know that those things they do alter your mind, your mood, and all of that.
Yes. They can help us unpack old stories and they can help us anchor in new ones. So if you're working to bring about positive, the citrus oils are really good for like uplifting your mood. So if you consciously make the decision, the intention to write affirmations and you're smelling an essential oil that makes you feel good, then every time you smell that essential oil, you're back in that spot at your desk writing those loving affirmations. It like helps to anchor it into the brain. And I love using essential oils for anchoring new things in as well as releasing all the old yuck.
That makes so much sense. Yeah, that's great. Do you have any quotes, mantras, themes that tend to follow you around through life that have been influential for you in any way?
Never give up. I have, of course, my turtle, right? Like I
Okay.
have a lot of turtles around me all over my desk and everything because the turtles are slow, but they do get where they're going, right? So
Mhm.
I may be slow, but I'm going to get there. I'm not ever going to give up. And my children would say that I'm way too fond of saying "suck it up, buttercup."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that one a few times.
Yeah, like I'm really sorry that this is going on, but this doesn't mean that you can give up. You do what you have to do to get through it. And I guess I would love to give you a lot of flowery ones, but I'm just like, never give up, suck it up and get on with it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's important too because you bring up the turtle and the parable of the tortoise and the hare, and it's not only just that it didn't quit. It kept going even though it was slow. But when you think about a turtle and its its shell, its armor. It's had to withstand so much just to get to where it is.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes a daily fight. Those little steps that are taken, and that armor gets built up over time. And a lot of us carry around a lot of that armor too, to protect ourselves. So
Yeah, but something I learned about turtles is their shell has like a lot of nerve endings, so it's very sensitive. So when you touch it, they can actually feel it. And I like that too, so that we can have our armor, but that we don't become desensitized
mm,
to the world and to others around us, that we still allow the touch and feelings. I saw a video of one where they were brushing it, cleaning it, and he was just like, "Oh, this is so great." And he was like moving so they could get different spots, and he loved it. And I'm like, "Okay, we can have our armor, but we can still feel."
yes. Oh, that's a great metaphor. I like that. That one's going to stick with me. So how do you, as an entrepreneur, how do you decompress, or how do you, obviously you have a lot of ways to help people with this, with the aromatherapy. What is a tidbit that you would pass along in decompressing, especially for entrepreneurs?
Um, One, get out in nature. Like there is just something about, even if all you do is take off your shoes and stand in your front yard or
Mm-hmm.
backyard, because if you stand in the front yard, the neighbors might wonder about you. So,
They're going to talk.
stand somewhere on grass. I've been known, if I'm out and about and I'm struggling and I pull into, like, say, the Walmart parking lot, and I can find a little bit of grass under a tree way out, I'm going to take my shoes off and I'm going to stand there for just a few minutes just to like help calm me down. Right. So get out in nature every day. Do something every day that is just for fun. Right.
Mm,
Um, I grew up where everything had to have a purpose. And so I had to learn that I could do something just for fun. I could pull out a piece of paper and slap watercolor paint all over it for no other reason but the fact that it just made my heart feel good.
yeah.
And maybe one day that's, you sit in your chair and you look at all the cat and dog videos on Instagram or TikTok, right? But something that has no purpose except to make you feel good every day, even on the
Yeah.
days. Find something, even if it's just a little thing. You know,
Mhm.
um, my youngest son was struggling with some things, and I was trying to get this through to him. And I'm like, okay, but think back to breakfast this morning when you found that there were still some bananas left, right? And you're like, ooh, a banana. I'm like, that's a good thing for today. Find a
Yeah.
good thing. And you like bananas, eat the banana because it makes you happy. And that's your good thing.
Yeah. 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 And there's so much that goes along with that when people talk about doing gratitude journaling or whatever, to train your brain to work on that mindset you were talking about, to see those good things. And
Yeah.
sometimes it just has to be that exercise, like what you're saying, that you might have to find it every day.
Yeah.
But once you start training yourself to find it,
Yes.
then you'll see it more.
Yes. And I suggest keeping a gratitude journal, and that, or not a gratitude journal, a joy journal, and that's separate from your other ones. And that can even be on your phone. Anytime, anywhere something happens that makes you smile or makes you happy, write it down. Because at the end of the day, we tend to think of all the bad or blah things that happen, and we forget the good. It's human nature. It's what we do. But you pull that list up every day. Oh, I was driving down, I can't remember the name of the street now, but they all, like, this huge swath where all the neighbors plant all these gorgeous flowers. So every spring I love to drive down that road because of all the flowers on it. So, write that down. Someone smiled at me, someone gave me a compliment. I got into the Costco gas parking lot and it was empty and I was right there and I could go, these good things. Yes, definitely train yourself for good things.
Yes, yes. Well, this is going in mine for today because I've smiled a lot during this, and I appreciate this time that you've taken. To wrap us up, if you were to invite someone to this conference, from your perspective, so just a little invitational commercial, what you would want to tell anybody about coming in. I want to give you just a few moments to do that and to mention anything else that you would like that is on your mind.
I think that it is important for everyone to come to this conference as a small business because we sometimes feel alone, right? Especially if we're the only person working our business. We get stuck in that I'm on an island, I'm all alone, nobody else is struggling like this. And going to a conference and seeing all these other people lets us know that we're not alone. Like, I know we network, or a lot of us, we network and all that, but it's still very easy to feel like, yeah, they've got a successful business. I'm struggling. But to sit in a class, a seminar talk where everybody's learning and all the heads are nodding because the speaker is saying something that's resonating with you, you look around and you're like, I'm not alone. And for that, the conference is worth it, just to be with other individuals who are working to better themselves and grow their business. And then come to my panel.
Yeah. Right. I love that you say that about not feeling alone because we know this in other parts of our life. You know, you go to birthday parties, you celebrate things with friends. We go to group meetings, like somebody who's in recovery may go to meetings regularly to get that I'm not alone feeling. We gather in groups for whatever it may be, some belief that is very close to you. We gather in groups of like-minded people so that we can have that camaraderie,
Yeah.
and we don't always have that as entrepreneurs. So I appreciate that you bring that up because it is so important. Well, thank you, Catherine. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay.